Alright, so these are three biggest mistakes that every beginner will do during their first online business. Alright, so first things first, let's start off. Let's start off the first one, which is thinking you need a perfect plan before starting. Right? Before you start, you guys always think that you guys need to be perfect in everything. You guys think that we need to have everything laid out. You guys think that you need to have every single detail, every single step by step laid out before you guys can actually start rolling out your first online business. Right? Commonly that's what we always think, me included. That's what I thought as well back then when I was starting my first online business. So for me, what I did back then was I did dropshipping. That was my first official online business, and it took me really really long for me to actually have the courage, the confidence to actually start my first online business, which is the whole dropshipping side of things. So things such as like preparing of the website, choosing the supplier, thinking of which product that I want to sell even. I mean the list goes on and on, right? So many different things, so many different aspects that contributes to the starting of the online business. But I spent so much time, right? I spent so much time thinking and planning, thinking that I needed the perfect plan, like I said. So a lot of people is always victim of the whole paralysis analysis side of things, right? Because you analyze too much and you get paralyzed of it, right? So me included as well. So especially when it comes to your first thing, you don't really have to think too much about it. You just have to go with it, right? Sometimes you just have to go with the flow, and then you learn as you go as well. Because if you plan too much, you feel like you need to be a perfectionist, and then once you fall into a trap of being a perfectionist, you wouldn't want to start. You wouldn't want to like officiate. You wouldn't do it officially already because being a perfectionist, right? Most of the time it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well most of the time because there's no such thing as perfect. There's always, always, always room for improvement. So with that being said, there's no point. Really, there's no point overthinking, overanalyzing. You think that you're doing something right, you are planning more. You think that this is part of the journey. It is to a certain extent, but it is not as well, right? All you need to do is you just need to know the basic foundation. You just need to have like a certain layer of base foundation knowledge. That's all you need. That's all you need, right? Most importantly is you learn as you go. You have to learn as you go. Just like a gym, you can't possibly have I don't know what's it called, a PhD in some sports exercise before attempting any form of sports, right? You can't possibly know every single theory behind all of the different sports and exercises before you guys actually start it, right? You need to like do the practical, right? You need to actually get into the gym, work out, learn as you go, and then sure, sometimes mistakes might happen a little bit here and there, but obviously you're not like trying to go you're not trying to lift like 100 kilograms from the start, right? And even if you wanted to, you literally can't, right? You literally can't do it as well. So obviously, you need to start with small weights, you need to start with lighter weights as well, and then you learn from mistakes. Maybe you twist a little bit, you sprain a little bit. It is normal. Unfortunately, it is normal. But learn as you go, right? You learn as you go. Like for me, example, back then when I was doing boxing, right? I was punching the heavy bag, right? I was punching the heavy bag. I was doing it in this angle, right? This angle. But the wrist, right? I feel like it doesn't work for me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe some of you guys who actually does boxing or Muay Thai whatsoever, maybe you guys are common as well. When I was punching in this manner, right, it hurts my wrist, right? Like this part of my wrist. I kind of like because you are using force to the heavy bag, and then this angle just awkward. I was my hands were wrapped, right? I obviously wrapped my hands first before I hop onto the punching bag. But in this angle, it did not work well. And I sprained twice, right? I sprained twice. So I recall that when that happened, I wasn't even able to work out in the gym anymore. I wasn't able to do any form of bench press, any form of pushing movements. I can't do it. It just hurts so bad whenever I place any form of weight, any form of pressure over here. Yeah, so afterwards, I switched to this hammer style. Yeah, it flows better, it's more natural. And I feel like in this angle, right, it's so natural for your shoulder joints as well. Yeah, I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe is that if you're doing in this manner, right, it's not natural for your shoulder joint as well. Yeah. So if you're doing this manner, this hammer style, it feels better. Right. I feel like I can generate more force as well. Yeah. Alright, sorry, this slowly turning into a boxing channel. But what I'm trying to say is that, you learn as you go. Right? You learn as you go, and then you don't think much about it. Most importantly, you gather experience first, and then from there on, you just learn as you go. You just improvise, learn from your mistakes, and just don't repeat them. Right? So that's what I mean by you're trying to perfect every single thing, but it's always impossible to do it. All right. So the next thing is you need a genius idea. A lot of people always think that you need to think outside the box, right? Yes, to a certain extent, you need to think outside the box, but it is situational, right? It really depends on what we're talking about. But when it comes to making money online, right? When it comes to making money online, when it comes to the whole online business of things, right? Copy what works, right? I'm pretty sure most of you guys have been hearing this from all of your other favorite make money online YouTubers, right? Most of the time they always say that just copy what works, right? Copy what works, something that's already been proven in the market is for a good reason as well, right? You don't really have to think of something flashy, think of something new, think of something that nobody has ever thought of it before. And chances are, right? Chances are, even if you think that you thought of something that nobody has thought before, chances are somebody did. Somebody did already. Unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, because I have a lot of like ideas that I had in my head. And then once I did a quick Google search, right, it's already there, right? It has already been invented. Somebody has already made a business out of it already. Yeah, so there's so many people in the world, right? It's almost impossible for us to actually think of something completely new, right? It's near impossible. It is possible, but I wouldn't want to bet on it, especially if you are still a beginner trying to make money online. Yeah, so copy what works. Just go ahead and go to YouTube. You know, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're doing dropshipping, if you're doing AdSense print on demand, if you're doing SMMA, any form of agency related models, you're doing Amazon FBA, you guys already know there's so many spy tools, right? So many spy tools whereby they can actually spot what is working, right? So winning products, that's what I'm trying to say, winning products. And then from there, you guys can use those winning products and then just basically sell the same product. Sell the same product, but obviously your branding, you know, your imaging, all that kind of stuff, you do it differently. Like your marketing, you do it differently as well. It can be similar, right? But it cannot be exactly the same as well, right? You guys get what I'm trying to say. Copy what works. Don't have to come up with a brand new genius idea. You don't need it, all right? We don't need it. You just need to copy what works and then just put your own twist on it. Simple as that, right? Don't make it too overcomplicated because once you overcomplicate it, that's where you fall into the trap of the first mistake that I mentioned, thinking that you need a perfect idea, right? Because once you think of something new, you're like, oh, I need to have the perfect plan. I need to have everything laid out. I need to have all of the steps laid out from A to Z, but it's impossible, right? Nothing is going to be perfect. Okay, so drop the idea of being a perfectionist because it will lead you to nowhere. Seriously, straight up, learn from me, learn from my mistakes. Finally, don't give up too soon. Don't give up too soon because I mean, if you give up, right, then you're not going to earn anymore, right? Basically, if you give up, you're not going to be able to reach the end goal, right? Always remember the goal, what you're trying to aim towards to from the start. Like if you're trying to make money online, obviously if you give up, like maybe 6 months in, 7 months in, or maybe even 1 year in, but maybe just maybe, right? The next day, you just need one more day, right? The next day could be the day where your efforts will pay off. You never know, right? You just never know, right? I'm pretty sure you guys saw this. I don't know, is it a meme or whatever? This picture right here, right? Whereby there's like two people they're digging the mine, right? They're digging the mine. One person's on top, another person's below. I believe the one on top, right, he's digging slowly, right? Slowly. And then the person below, he actually gave up. And the picture, right, just just at the point where he stopped digging, right, is the diamonds over there. And it shows him walking away, then looking all tired and depressed, right? Because he has been digging for so long. He has been digging for so long and then he just gave up when all he need is to dig once more and then the goal whatsoever that he's looking for will be there, right? So that's a pretty powerful message, right? That picture alone. So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't give up too soon because you just never know when it's your payday, right? You really just never know. So that's what I'm trying to say as well, man. Because for me as well, there are some days where I really want to give up, right? When I was doing the whole dropshipping side of things, and then slowly but surely, right, I got what I wanted. When I was launching a campaign, it didn't work too well, and then I obviously launched a couple more. I give in different advertisements, right? I give different creatives, try different kind of headlines as well, different kind of copy text, all those good stuff. And then obviously the first couple of them didn't really work, and I just changed a little bit here and there. Then thankfully it worked, right? It worked. I had a good ROAS, and then I had good returns as well. Right, finally I have some sales. Right, finally I see some purchases at my Facebook ad manager. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. So if I give up, right, if after the first campaign, right, I just gave up, right, I wouldn't be able to get that profitable campaign, right? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So whatever business model it is that you're doing, you know, you can't give up, right? Just because you have one failure, right? That doesn't mean that it is the end of it all, right? Obviously, things, right? Especially in business, we really need to invest a lot of time in. We can't just give up so quickly and easily as well. Yeah, because you just never know. You just really never know when you're gonna be able to, see the benefits of your effort. You just could be the next day, the next hour. You never know, right? So, what other choice we have? What other choice do we have but do not give up? You can't give up, right? There's one famous quote by, what's this called? Steve Harvey. I think it's Steve Harvey. I think he mentioned something like, if you're already going through hell, why stop? Right? So that really resonated with me. That quote really just kept replaying my heads. I mean, we're already suffering, right? We're already trying so hard. We're already suffering day in and day out. We're suffering every single day. Why are we stopping? Right? We're already in hell, right? It sucks, right? It sucks to be in hell. It sucks to be in the place where we're in right now. We're suffering through. If we stop, we're just gonna suffer even more, right? So don't stop. Don't stop. Carry on doing whatever it is you're doing. Improvise, be smart about it. Don't make the same mistakes. If things doesn't work, then obviously change it, improvise it, improve in it, then carry on. Carry on, keep on doing it until you reach your goals, man. Until you reach your goals. The same concept as fitness as well, right? I can go on and on about the whole fitness analogy side of things because I have a lot of experience in it. So just don't give up, man. Right? You want to lose weight, you want to gain muscle. You have to be consistent with your diet. Diet sucks, right? Eating all the clean food, no one likes it. But that is what works. That is what will bring you closer to your goal. Straight up. That's all it is. These are quick three biggest mistakes that most beginners make. That is actually me as well. Because all of this stuff, right, is actually something that I made. These are the lessons that I learned from myself, and hopefully, you guys do not make the same mistakes as to what I made. And I'm pretty sure other beginners did as well. Alright, so if you guys want to learn more about all of these online business models, right? If you guys don't know what kind of business models you guys want to do, but you guys are interested in it, you guys can click the link at the description box down below, and I will share with you guys how and what you guys should be doing when it comes to the whole online business side of things. And if you guys want to learn more about them, you'll be all inside. Alright, so just to list a few examples, there will be dropshipping, Amazon FBA, things such as like copywriting, things such as like agency model related sort of things, etc. Like the list goes on and on. Every single thing they're interested or curious about learning when it's related to online business models, it'll be all inside. All right. Video courses, ebooks, guides, templates, whatever it is. And another thing is that I'll be sharing with you guys 1,372 online business ideas. It'll be all free inside as well. And then on the other hand, there will be the entrepreneur playbook, meaning to say that every single questions that you guys might have when it comes to starting your first online business is all going to be inside. All right, all your questions, it will be answered all inside.